Okay, here we're going to review looking for patterns and counting survivor cells. I'm filling in for Peyton, who's on the DNA instructor team. The stress was provided by UV, and the treatment was with phototherapy, and the control was keeping the plates in the dark after, in the case of Peyton's work, 3 seconds of UV exposure. I'm going to begin by cutting open the stack of plates. Getting rid of all this tape. And I'm going to begin by looking at the spot grid plates and seeing what's going on in terms of any sort of a pattern. And what I'm noticing is that there's full growth here with phototherapy. There's full growth all the way to step 3, and then it breaks up into individual colonies at step 4. Step 4, full growth up to step 3, then individual colonies step 4, and then just single colonies or no colonies at all at step 5. So I'm going to record that in my data sheet. This is the treatment is phototherapy, and here the other plate will be for the dark. And I'll just draw in full growth circles, exactly what I'm seeing here, and then individual colonies. You don't have to count them, you just need to, and then if there's no colonies, I put a big fat 0 in that cell. Likewise here in the dark, now we get a similar pattern, and we actually have a few more colonies. Maybe just one colony on that one, and then here there's three or more. And then we have kind of spotty full growth here. Now we'll turn our attention to the counting numbers, more quantitative data, looking at the plates, these counting plates, and at least with my old eyes, I find it very hard to see these colonies. So it sometimes helps to put them on a different contrast. I don't know if that's coming across on the camera, but the TAs tell me that a purple glove makes for a good background when you're counting. But before I count, I'm going to just arrange them into some kind of order. Here's dilution. I'm going to arrange them. These are all the dark controls. Dilution step 6. I don't see any colonies, and then the number of cells are increasing as the dilution step decreases, and that's expected. So dilution is working. And then we can look at the phototherapy group here and see if we notice any differences with or without phototherapy. So here's a pretty strong difference. At dilution step 4, I haven't counted anything, but it looks like phototherapy really helped. I have many more surviving cells than I did in the dark with the dark treatment. So that's encouraging. And that is something that I would write in my reflection for my ELN. Now we've taken a look at the pattern. Let's see if it continues to step 5. Yeah, sure enough, here there's just 2 colonies, and here there's about 20 colonies. Oh my gosh, this is working great. At dilution step 6, we see 1 colony with phototherapy and no colonies in the dark. So the pattern is probably strongest for steps 4, 5. Step 6, they're still over here. Right away I can tell that these are too many to count. I might be able to count these here if I made a heroic effort, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just record in my data sheet. Too many to count. Too many to count. Too many to count. Too many to count. And then at step 4, phototherapy. I'm just going to remind myself of this really striking pattern. More, I'm going to write here, no, more colonies. And that means more survivors. The meaning of a colony on these plates is that they survived the stress. We exposed them to 3 seconds of UV light. Now, more than who, compared to dark controls. So when you're writing up this result, be sure to complete the comparison. I've told you who has more. I've told you in relationship to what basis of comparison or which control. And then once I have the numbers, I can tell you a little bit more about the magnitude of this pattern. But right now, I'm pretty excited and motivated to do the counting. Get my purple glove so I don't miss any colonies. In the dark, 0, 1. Sometimes they're hiding behind the labels, so I flip them over and just check on them. Here, phototherapy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Look for anything hiding behind the labels. 16 is a good number. In the dark, same dilution. I just have two colonies. Nobody's hiding behind the labels. 1, 2, 2. Okay. For these guys, I gotta break open the counting device. So I'll be clicking this every time I touch the colony. I gotta adjust the light so I can see what I'm doing. 1. Yeah, this purple glove is great. It also helps to turn off your overhead task light, so you don't get glare from the plate bottom. When I see colonies that are merged together, I try to count each one, and otherwise you're at risk of undercounting when they're this closely spaced. Okay, 255, right at the border of too many to count. But I was motivated because this fits in well with the pattern. Reset this guy. looking for anybody hiding behind the label. 32. So over here in my data sheet, dilution step 4 in the dark, I got 32 colonies. But with phototherapy, I got 255. That's almost a eightfold difference. So you have an eightfold increased chance of surviving if you get phototherapy at that dilution. Dilution step 3 in the dark, I got 2 colonies, and I got 16 over here at dilution step 5 with phototherapy. So again, an eightfold difference, eightfold improvement in your chance of survival. And then the other one, we're talking about 1 survivor here and 0. So when you get to these small numbers, it becomes harder to quantify the effect, because these were the best counting plates, 4, 5, and possibly 6. Anyway, good work. Good luck with your experiments.